oh my God, I cannot believe it. We are ready to go. I know everybody was kind of waiting for the theme song. That is not happening just yet because we have a jam-packed episode. This is season 2 for the love of Jayla. Es tu chica Jayla aquí contigo, kicking off the season with the one and only. And a lot of my people have been super excited about this. I've been getting DMs, text messages. Everybody's like, oh my God, I love her. Maria, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. I feel like we've been planning this forever and we finally are making it happen. How are you?
I'm good. Actually, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here. Everything's good. I don't know.
Well, a little bit like I want Maria to start. I mean, it's all right. It happens. This is what happens nowadays. We are on live, so thank you everyone for tuning in. Please remember, you can always leave your comments. I'll be looking through them in the chat. We'll answer questions. But today, we're coming back. Let's start with a recap of everything that's been going on. Maria and I have talked a little bit behind the scenes. I told her, I was like, listen, there is nobody else I would love to have on the show for the love of Jayla. And we've been trying to make it happen since season 1 because, I mean, you know what it is to look for love. You know what it is, especially in this world with all of this stuff going on. It's okay. You're good.
Just technical difficulties right now.
It's okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
But we know what it is to look for love. I want, season 2 for me. Season 1 was about dating. I went on a couple dates. I got my divorce, went through a whole transition of things, ended the season with knowing that the best love is self-love, which is always a journey all in its own, and I have been dying to talk to you about the love experience because I think as a hopeless romantic, even though you want to self-love all you want, love is still in the air when it's possible.
You're right. I mean, I'm probably the worst person to give advice when it comes to love because I've gone on 3 dating shows and I still end up very single. So I don't think I quite got that down yet.
Well, Maria, for those of the people watching and listening right now that haven't gotten a chance to know who you are, let them know who you are, where you come from. What is the background? What's the down low on Maria?
Okay, so basically I'm mostly, I guess I should say how people know me is through MTV. I got casted at 21 years old to be on Are You the One season 7. And then from there, I went on Double Shot season 1, season 2, and I had my cameo in season 3. And that's kind of just what I've been doing. That's who I am. I'm also, I guess I would call myself an influencer, even though I hate saying that word. And I work through, Instagram, sometimes YouTube, very rarely. I do TikToks. And I'm just from West New York. And I don't know. I got an opportunity to do something cool. And so I did it.
Where are you from nationality-wise?
So both my parents are Cuban. And I'd like to say I'm Cuban, but I was born here, so I'm Cuban American, I guess.
And me and Maria actually had the chance to meet each other through work when we were both at Univision doing radio, which I love that you say that you don't like being called an influencer because I personally cringe sometimes at that word too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've been around longer since the word has existed.
Yeah, I just don't like the idea of being called an influencer because I feel like also there's so many like negative connotations with influencing. And I also don't really see myself as anything special. I always kind of see myself as me,
Absolutely. No. And I like to consider like us as like, we're multimedia personalities. We don't just do one thing. We could do radio, we do TV, you have so many different things that you do as, not only TV wise, I've seen you hustle and work around in other different aspects and trying to make it work because even, as a Latina woman in this industry, whether you're, Cuban American, whether you're straight from your country or you're half and half or mixed, it's really hard for a woman and as a Latina woman in this game to really break those barriers because there's always like kind of a standard for who we are.
I do believe that too. I'm also very just proud of being able to be, even though I'm not your typical Latino looking, like I am very white passing and I know that. But I am very happy to just represent, Cuba and Cuban Americans in the reality TV aspect portion of the entertainment business. I feel like I don't really know a lot of Cuban Americans in reality TV. I know a few, but not as many as you would see of like other types of people. So that's why I'm very proud of, being me.
So right now, one of the things that I always do it's one of my favorite segments of the show. It's called El Chequeo. So El Chequeo is basically a nice little check-in. What have been your highs and your lows? Because this is season 2, episode 1. Obviously, we haven't checked in a little bit. So I'm going to kick it off just to give off the example. My lows have been that it's been a lot of work to get back to season 2. Things are happening really fast. The year has been like, let's be realistic. We're almost in 2022. Half of us haven't even wrapped our heads around 2021, let alone 2020. So I think that's kind of been my like, you hit that like school, you start looking at the kids' school calendars as a mom, and you're like, oh, wait, all these vacations are coming up. And then it's like, oh, the holidays are coming up. And you start looking at your bank account and you start looking at the bills. And it's like, yay, it's the end of the year.
Yeah.
So I think that was my low of the past couple. Yeah, busy and broke, apparently. But the highs have been, this weather has been absolutely amazing down here. I'm in South Florida, so I've been enjoying it from Orlando to Miami. I'm enjoying every second of it, I'm wearing sweaters and I'm inside and I'm just like, let's do this. I love the weather. It definitely is cuddle season. I saw Craze Boogie put that up in the chat earlier. I definitely am feeling all the cuddle season vibes right now.
Okay, cute.
And obviously kicking off with you.
With me.
Of course.
I'm really jealous that you're in South Florida, actually, because it's actually getting pretty cold here. So that's annoying. All right. So my highs and lows. I don't know. I guess I would say my high is, let me start with the lows. I would say my low right now is just going back to school, and I like school. I'm just not very good at test taking, and so that's been taking a lot of my time, which has been very difficult. There has been, just family issues that we're trying to get through, and thankfully everything's been okay with what's been going on, but that has also been quite a low that I've been dealing with. And overall, just, I don't know, just life is just a drag right now. But the highs, I guess the small things are really nice. I like Thanksgiving, and I like that Thanksgiving's coming up. It's one of my favorite holidays because I get to spend it with family. And then it goes right back to low because Christmas is coming, and I hate Christmas. I hate it so much.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So for Thanksgiving, do you like Thanksgiving? I mean, obviously it's great because family and you get to spend time with everybody, especially in these weird times where you just kind of got to expect the unexpected at this point, realistically, as crazy as that sounds.
Yeah.
Why do you like Thanksgiving? Do you cook, or do we got Chef Maria in the house? Do you bring a special dish to Thanksgiving? What's going on?
I don't think the aspect of it is cooking. I do like to cook, and I would love to. I mean, I've hosted Friendsgiving in the past where I did cook, and it came out great. It is a lot of work though. But I think my favorite part about Thanksgiving and why I'm looking forward to it is basically just to be surrounded with family, and also my family, when they get together, it's fun to drink with them, and it's always fun to just get drunk with, your siblings, your cousins, and all that, and just have that weekend to yourselves. It feels like a lot of love.
Do you guys have any family traditions or anything that you guys do to kind of like get into like drunk mode? Do you guys like play tragos? Do you guys like do dominoes?
No, I really wish that we had a funner way to like get drunk, but we just do it to do it, right? We don't really have any crazy traditions in our family for Thanksgiving. I guess the only thing, it's not just me though, it's a Cuban thing. We don't really do a lot of turkey. We do more of, the pork roasting. So
a little pernil, huh?
Yeah, I don't think that's a tradition. I just think that's a cultural thing for Cubans.
Is there anything that that has to be at Maria's Thanksgiving Day table? Like, no puede faltar. There's no way that you're getting away with not having this for Maria.
There has to be some form of a pasta dish. I'm really good at making pastas. Mm-hmm. I'm a cheese person. I like cheese.
I like cheese too. And I know that a lot of people are going vegan and do it, but that's like the one reason I always tell everybody, it's like, yo, as much as I just don't know if the cheese will let me do it.
No, I couldn't live without it.
No, and I'm Central American, so for me it's that and the like sour cream, like the queso, like the natilla, la crema. Oh my God, I can't live without it. Like there's no way.
I couldn't do it, so I don't blame you.
All right, that was El Chequeo, Maria. We're gonna go into a little bit. This season, we're doing things a little bit different because I want to get to know more about what people consider love. And like you said, maybe you might not be the expert through your experiences, but I think there's some level of expertise of knowing who you are and what you are willing and not willing to accept. And I think that for somebody who's seen kind of what you've been through in your journey, you know, you're very like on point on certain things that you're not willing to like budge on, or, you know, like you're willing to compromise, or you're very like, you're grounded in your own sense in that aspect. And I think a lot of men and a lot of people, because I don't think it only happens to men, I think it happens to women as well, that when they find that, it's sometimes off-putting, or it's like, wait, what do I do with this? You know, so I want to know more a little bit with your experiences through all of this. Like, you know, most people would think like, oh, I'm jaded, or I don't want to do this, or I don't really believe in love. Like, where are you with all of this? You, like you said, you've been on Are You the One? You've been at A Double Shot of Love. We've seen you on a couple of seasons, and, you know, realistically, everybody loves you. Everybody I've ever talked to, like I told you when I started this, everybody was like, oh my God, I love her. Oh my God, can you, like, I'm like, wait. I want to keep this as authentic and raw as possible. Like, I want to know like how you've been through this process, because obviously they see one thing, but you live a different experience.
Yeah.
So what's your experience?
So what I always remind people is I started going on these types of shows at a very young age, at the age that you legally can go on the show. I had applied when I was 20 and started doing it at 21 years old. And mind you, I'm 25 now. It's not a long time, but it feels like it, right? So we're talking about the last 5 years kind of dating like this in the public eye, which is not the easiest thing to do. I think I had an idea when I first did my first show how it would end up, because the way you see things on TV when it comes to dating shows, it looks very immaculate, very romantic and set up. And I'm not saying it's not real. I mean, there is some truth to what you see, if not most of it is true. But they don't really, there's so much that goes on with, because mind you, you have to fit content into 1 hour of an episode. So you don't really see every single fight, every single emotion, every single time you cry, you don't see all that.
How long about, like, let's say for one episode, more or less, how many hours in actual real life is that shooting?
You're filming over 100 hours. Over for sure.
For one episode.
For one episode. Yeah.
Wow.
It's 24/7. So you got to think of it like that. And not every day is going to be interesting. Not every date is going to be interesting. So it's just filming nonstop, and then whatever makes the cut, which is why I say not everything you see is exactly how it is, but it's also not far from the truth. You know, you have to compromise to make a good episode. So when I first did my first dating show, I kind of had this idea of, you know, it being like, you know, just all this beautiful stuff, all this flowers and kisses and all this beautiful dates, and just, you know, like I was very naive, I think I was, but I was also very young, and it was the first time. And my first experience with my first dating show was terrible because my perfect match ended up having a girlfriend, and it just was not an overall like guy that I would have been with. So I almost felt like, wow, if the matchmakers are telling me that this is my perfect match, like, what does that say about me? So I think I was a little bit jaded after that experience with my first show, and I became a little bit more closed off to the idea of dating on TV until, you know, the opportunity arose again where they were like, listen, the first time around kind of was, you know, not the best for you, and I get that you got played, but we have another opportunity where you can get on this other show and, you know, compete for love again and see if you like him. And if you don't, then you don't. But because I didn't know who was the Bachelor when I first
I was going to ask that. That was going to be my question.
No, I had no idea. I had no idea who the Bachelors were.
So they just gave you a concept. They said, are you willing to try it again?
Yeah, they were like, are you willing to, you know, try to find love again on TV? And then I was like, yeah. And then they were like, okay, we can't tell you who it is. Because I guess I get it. It kind of ruins the moment. And if I knew who it was beforehand, you know, you get all these pre-notions. Right. So I understand that aspect of it. But I was very hesitant, but I mean, not hesitant enough because I did end up doing it. And
before you get into that though, I want to ask some like actual, like, I want to kind of like take it back before we go into the second phase. Cause I feel like, you know, it's like they tell you like, all right, you fall once. Cool. Yeah. You know, it's shame on you. Twice, shame on me. 3 times, like, oh, now I kind of like this. So obviously, like you said, you're a little jaded after the first attempt at looking for love in the public eye, which is already, like you said, that's already a whole thing on its own. Everybody has opinions. Everybody has things to say, especially now with social media. I'm sure everybody's contacting you, DMing you, hitting you up, telling you like all your friends that you haven't talked to in 20 years, like, oh my God, what the, like, what's going on? So like, how do you go from that transition to saying like, you know what, I'm going to try this again? Or like, you know, like, did your parents or did your family like influence that? Did they not? Because I know like for me, like, you know, I'm in my 30s and I've been offered different positions before where I'd have to think about it. And I'm like, man, I'm going to be in the public eye. Is this something I actually want? You know, is this something my family can handle? Is this, you know, like, is that part of your thinking process? And how did that go with the transition into the next phase of it?
When I first started, I think I was more excited to just be able to do something that was so one of a kind that I didn't really think about how people would react to it. I mean, my mom, being traditional, I think she didn't really understand it. And I don't think she still does, but she's more accepting of it right now than she ever was before. But I think it hit me more so when I finally, when the first show aired and people became so, I don't want to say intrusive because they're not. They became so
involved. They almost feel like involved. They almost feel like relatable to you. Like they want to help you.
Yeah, exactly. No, it felt like they wanted to know more about the relationship, about me, about how we were doing. And then, mind you, this goes back to the thing where you don't see everything because you can't just air everything. But, you know, deep down inside, on a personal level, I knew that me and my perfect match did not get along and we were not in love and he was not the one for me. And he just wasn't somebody that I would claim. He wasn't somebody who treated me like as well as he should have. But you know, to the public eye, they kind of just saw the romantic part of it and how we were a perfect match. And then they wanted to, you know more about us. They wanted to see pictures of us after the show. They wanted to see us hanging out. And it was kind of hard to have to break the news that I was paired up with somebody who just wasn't that good to me. And I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm sure he's, he's not a bad person, but it just wasn't compatible, clearly. And that's kind of what was the more difficult part about the dating show the first time around. Because it felt like you owe something to the public who supported that couple or me and him. And we're rooting us on from the beginning. And then you have to kind of realize that it didn't pan out the way that the audience wants to see it. And that's kind of a bummer on my end too.
Do you feel like as the woman that you had to take more of the weight of the responding to your audience than maybe he did?
I felt like I had to defend myself more, if that makes sense.
Because no, it totally makes. You're preaching to the choir over here. I totally understand what that means. A lot of people don't though, because they, like you said, they see this perception that is being built by the networks and stuff. Because like you said, time is restraint. Time is limited for them. They have to put out the best product that they can get out of this. It's nobody's fault in that. You know, this is like what people sign up for, essentially.
And I understand that completely. That's why I'm not, you know, I never take it out on the network itself. That I'm, you know, you can't ever do that because you sign up for a show. But I did feel like I had to defend myself because it was just he was just not a good person. He just would try and tear me down and shift blame on, like, at the reunion episode, after I had exposed that he had a girlfriend from keeping it quiet so long. It got flipped over on me, like, oh, well, you're not my type, that's why I didn't like you. But it just, you said that because you got caught with a girlfriend, because it wasn't the case when we were filming, right? So it's just that first experience was really just not the best experience to be introduced to the TV world, I think it was. But I feel like I'm a resilient woman, so that didn't deter me from from featuring on other shows where I believed that maybe I could date somebody else.
So obviously now we're moving into what was the next phase of the next chapters. Obviously you got called back. No idea what was going on. So, I mean, obviously, this is something that I don't think a lot of the world could say they don't know about. Let's be realistic. Jersey Shore was something that was huge throughout the entire world. It didn't matter where you lived in. I'm from Central America, and I would go back home and turn the TV on, and MTV Latin America, that's exactly what they had playing. And everybody was like, yo, don't change it. Chill. No lo cambies. And so, like, how is that going into now this different phase? Now you're obviously older. You've been through different experiences. You're growing through this process, because realistically, I always said it, and I'm going to continue saying this for the rest of my life. I'm going to keep repeating it to my daughter. You are a glorified teenager in your 20s.
Yeah.
In your 20s, people want to treat you like a kid. It's like, you don't know enough, but you got to be responsible enough. And then you still got to do more, but you got to keep, it's like you're a glorified teenager. So like that's your 20s, and that's realistic, like, I mean, my entire career, most of it was in my 20s. So like, I totally comprehend the growth of it though. And especially that we're living in a world with a fast growth with TikTok, with all the social media, with everything that we got going on. How has that been now going into the next phase of what that chapter was, transitioning from one show to another?
So I think that I kind of had more of an idea of what I was expecting from the first time around, which is really nice. So I did have an advantage that I will always be grateful for. But instead of being such a naive girl where I thought everything was rose petals and, everything was beautiful and perfect, I actually was able to ground myself back to earth and think, okay, this is the second time around where you're competing for love on, television. Let's not make the same mistakes. Let's not, let's not believe everything that comes out of someone's mouth because it sounds good in the moment. Actually know yourself before you go again, because I feel like that was the big aspect. I think the first time around I had gotten out of a relationship, out of somebody that I really loved and I wanted to be with forever. It didn't work out. He was, sleeping with somebody else. It was a whole other mess. And that really left me heartbroken. And I think that left me very vulnerable for the first time. But then the second time around, I think I was more sure of who I was as a person, even though I still had growing to do to get to where I am now. And I'll still have growing to do in the future. I think the second time around, I was more so prepared in the sense that I was able to understand myself and what I wanted and who I was rather than the first time.
I mean, I think that's really important. Where was one of those steps where you had to realize where it was more about Maria, where you needed to take a step back for yourself and be like, hey, not only do I need to love myself, but what are my boundaries? Where, what do I really want?
Yeah.
Because I feel especially, not, and not to generalize, because I don't like to generalize anybody, because I think it's maybe with the people I resonate with or I relate to, I feel like a lot of us have had early journeys with our families, meaning we have young parents. My mom and my dad had me and my brother by the time they were 22. And to them, that was normal. And I feel like, when I hear it from a lot of my aunts, my cousins, maybe friends, family, I hear that from a very young stance. So for me, I always felt by like 25, I was going to be an old maid and I wanted 2 kids and to be married. And, I'm in my 30s and I'm telling everybody like, hold on, wait, take your time, please. Like, and I had my daughter at 27 and I love her to death. And, but realistically, times have changed. Obviously the way we live, the environments we live in, the school systems, all of that, everything is different now than when they were younger. So like, do you think that for you personally, like, did you ever have any of that pressure on yourself? Like on what you felt like I needed to like be married at a certain time and have kids by a certain time? Like,
I think as a woman, we always put that pressure on ourselves from like a society standpoint, because that's what society has done to women. I don't know that I've ever put it so, I didn't emphasize, marriage and children, and I still don't, if I'm going to be honest with you, because I also don't see myself doing those things. And maybe that's just one of those cases where you have to meet somebody that's going to change your mind, which is what everyone says. But I never really put pressure on myself to be at a certain level, family wise or marriage wise. I do that a lot with career moves. I always beat myself up about, finishing my degree at 25 or not having a career that I wanted in my mid 20s. But family and marriage and all that I never saw it as a competition, which is why I think when it comes to finding love and finding someone, I think it's going to happen on its own time. And if it doesn't happen, I know plenty of old women who are great and single and lonely, and they live to be 101. So,
hey, listen, we could be the Golden Girls. I'm okay with that. We'll find ourselves a nice little condo in Brickell over the beach.
Exactly.
We could be the Golden Girls. Yo no tengo problema con eso.
I mean, I'm okay,
But I think that's an important conversation to have, though, because I think generationally we're kind of told, at a certain age, or you need to have X, Y, and Z, or do this, and that to be accomplished. And I really I personally don't think that there's an age limit. I really don't think that there are limitations, just because I've been blessed to be surrounded by amazing people that have accomplished so much, even like later in life, like literally like in their 50s, started a brand new career. And it's been like their best ages of like, best years of their lives. Yeah. And I think that that's so beautiful. How, like, what advice do you have for women, like yourself, that you want to continue to level up, you want to continue to grow, you want to continue to be the best version of yourself? Obviously, you're not saying like, fuck love or like fuck traditions. You're not saying any of that. You're saying like, maybe it's not my time, maybe it's not my place, either whether it's right now or later on. But like, what advice? Because like you said, a lot of us kind of get pressured into this mentality, of what it should be. So what advice do you have for our girls, even our older women that are starting new phases in their lives? Like, let's be real, this happens all the time.
I feel as though I'm not a cynical person where I think love is not a possibility and I write it off completely. Realistically, I think as human beings, not just women, we all crave some sort of affection and love in our lives. I just think that we have to also remember to give ourselves some of that love, like save a little love for yourself before you try and find it in someone else. So, I mean, really my advice is the simplest advice I ever have in my entire life. I guess it's just do you, and if it works out, it works out, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Because quite frankly, that's just kind of the way the world works. You can't really. There is no way that you can force something that's not going to happen. And I always hear people say, "What's for you will be for you, and it will find you," and I stand by that. Which is kind of why I'm just going with the flow when it comes to career, especially when it comes to love. I don't really like to put so much emphasis on love, because again, if what is for you will be for you and it will find you. But other than that, like self-love, and it's easier said than done. Trust me, there have been days where I do not love myself in the slightest, and whether it be physically, mentally, or emotionally, something about me is off that I don't like. And I think that's a good sign in a way, because it means that you want to improve. It means that part of your life that you don't like in that moment needs some work. And I think the more you work on yourself, the more you attract the energy of someone else who, you know, radiates the same amount of positivity that you need in a relationship. So, I mean, that's my advice.
When you're feeling like that, because I feel like I totally, when you said that, you're like, there are some days I just don't, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
And I feel like all of us wake up like that one day. I mean, we all go through it. What are some things that you do? Because I've learned that it's not giving people like, this is what I do and this makes it better. It's like kind of saying like, hey, this is what works for me. Maybe this sparks an idea in your head.
Yeah.
Or it gives you some type of inspiration to what influences you. So what are some things that influence you when you're in that funk, when you just like, oh, I hate this today?
I feel as though I acknowledge how I feel, first off. I take the time to mourn that part of me that feels upset or feels like, you know, that part of me that I need to work on, that I feel is ugly or is not what I want it to be. Because I don't think it's healthy to disregard your sadness about it. I think you have to acknowledge it in order to work on it. So I always say, you know, take 24 hours to mourn, be sad about it all you want, but then after the 24 hours are up, get up and do something, whether it be for work, whether it be spending time with friends and family, whether it be even putting on makeup and taking pictures of yourself or making videos on TikTok, whatever the case may be. You have the 24-hour limit where you acknowledge it and then you keep going on, and you know, it just all kind of falls into place. And if it doesn't, it's okay, because there is no time limit on how you're supposed to feel, which is another thing. For everybody, it's going to be different. For me, yep. I forced myself out of that, you know, gross and nasty and negative feelings that I have after the 24 hours. And some days it lasts more than 24 hours, but that's just what I do in order to get my mind off of it. Cause I don't really like to dwell. I don't really think it accomplishes anything for me. And I feel like I don't want to make it worse. So I work on other aspects, you know?
But I love what you said though, because I think that we don't get the opportunity to even feel it. It's like, yo, shake it off. Like, get over it. Keep moving. Yeah. Like, it's life. No, like, it's okay. Like, I've always been one to be very, like, much of an advocate. Like, feel your pain. It's okay. I feel my pain because I never want to feel it again. So if it takes me a week to soak, let me soak into my 1 week. But like, you know, I've been through trauma. I've been through a lot of big stuff. There's a lot of people that go through big stuff, you know, whether it's big or small, like whatever I feel like you have to follow your heart, your intuition, and like that third eye, like your mind is going to tell you like, hey, maybe like, it's okay if you're lagging this much. It's okay to take a 30-minute nap.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, and but there's so many people that feel so guilty about even taking a nap because you should be cleaning, you should be doing this, you should be doing more. No, deja eso. Go take a nap, go refresh yourself, go take a shower for 30 minutes, go into a sauna, whatever is gonna make you feel better. And I think that's so important. I love that you said that, like, feel your pain. Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of people get told to just brush it off, like, you know, bury that, dust it off, put it under the rug, like, and I just feel like if we feel it, we avoid so many more problems in the future.
I agree. That's why I say feel your pain.
So what's up next for you, Maria? Like, what are you working on? I know you said you were going back to school, which congratulations. I know it's not easy. It's not fun. Going back to school is never fun, but it is obviously, ultimately, we all know it's worth it. So how is that? How is that new transition going into a new space again, or an old new space again?
Yeah. So going back to school, when I left school, mind you, I only had a year left. Now I'm on my last semester. But when I left school, I was, college aged. So it wasn't weird to be on campus because everybody was mostly my age. But when I came back, I felt kind of like out of place, old, which I'm not old, by the way. I won't be old for a while because I'm only 25. But for some reason, it felt so weird being back on campus and everybody was so young and there's so much life in their eyes. And I'm like, wow, what a change. And then also everybody that I went to college with graduated already. So it was like a whole new round of people that I didn't know. But I'm very grateful that I was able to go back and I had the time to do it. I'm almost done, which I'm also very happy and grateful about. Thank you. As for, career move, I haven't really decided what I want to do yet or who I want to be, which I also think is perfectly fine. There's a lot of things that I'm always more open-minded to if opportunities were to come my way. But I think that for right now, I'm just okay with going to school and working on social media. And I've recently started making TikToks, which I think is really fun to do. I do it to cope with when I'm sad or when I'm bored or whatever, which is
really?
Yeah, it's actually pretty fun to do if you ever make a TikTok or account.
I have an account. So like for me, I have like a weird feeling about TikTok. Part of me, being a mom and an overprotective Latina mom that I am, I feel like low key it's a pedophile's playground. No offense to TikTok.
Well, that's
I love
with
you
most
guys.
social media accounts.
I know, but it's so new, and I feel like so many of these challenges, like obviously as a woman, as a mother to a young child who is a dancer, she does dance camp, she goes to summer camp at dance, so it's like that mixed feeling of like protection, but like I know the industry.
Yeah.
So it's like but you don't know, but you're a mom now, so it's a weird feeling. But I've actually been considering kind of like maybe stepping into it with her.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll make me feel a little safer with her to do it. I've been like,
you control the content, so as long as you know what's being put out there, I don't think there's anything to worry about.
What's the Maria TikTok content looking like?
When I talk a lot about, I like to what I call shit post. I do it on my Twitter too, but I like to basically just make videos about like relationship stuff. Like I like to self-deprecate on myself a lot. I just find it really funny. But my content is just, I don't know. It's just, there is really no set like structure to it.
They're just getting Maria all the time, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Just what's in my mind that week.
Well, we're gonna have to do like a little FaceTime, and maybe we could like TikTok on something.
Yeah,
because I know they have like they have like those collab things.
Yeah,
maybe I'll start getting into it like that. I feel like an old girl when I say things.
No,
like that.
You're still young. You're still very young.
No, don't let the face fool you. This is that great blood, the great lighting and the great blood.
It's the genetics, babe.
Listen, my mom. She's about to turn 56 on Sunday, and she looks like my sister.
Well, 56 is also very young.
They're extremely young, but Jayla is a senior citizen. Thanks, Boogie. Shout out to my awesome producer, BX Craze, who knows I'm a whole vieja. It's funny though, because the people who really know me, including some of my followers, like they absolutely know, like I'm OG vieja. Like I sleep with a heating pad. Like I'm putting on like my little candelitas and my meditation music. Like I'm in vieja mode. Give me my old blanket. Like yo tengo mi sábana.
Whatever's comfortable for you. Whatever you want to do. If you want to be a vieja, then that's exactly what you should be. No one's judging you.
Until we put the makeup on, then we go outside.
Yeah, like I don't go out all the time either. I'm 25. I probably should be enjoying my 20s, but like most of the time I'm just home.
What are you doing now? I mean, like, let's be real. So like, where's the love looking like? What do you do? Like other than school, how are you keeping your time occupied? Do we have a little boy toy? Yeah, do we have a little boy toy on the side? Are we dating? Are we swiping? What are we doing?
No, I don't use apps. That's one thing I do not do. I've been used as a catfish a couple times on apps, but I was
gonna say, now guys, if you ever see Maria on any
of the sites,
it is not her.
No, I do not use dating apps. I think they're really impersonal. Like they're not very, I don't know. You can't really connect with somebody. I don't feel that way.
I don't feel like you can feel the energy. I feel like when you meet somebody, like
it's way different.
Yeah, like the spark, like even it's like, whew.
Yeah, like, it's way different.
Yeah, 100%.
But in regards to dating, I don't know. I can't really seem to figure it out. I mean, sure, as a girl, like I do get asked out, and I've gone on a couple dates. There isn't, somebody that I'm dating, like a boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. But little of this, little of that.
I'm gonna say it. Listen, I obviously For the Love of Jayla started because I got divorced, and it was like looking for me to find love. Mm-hmm. I will say, I was married for 2 years, separated for 4. I was with him for over 10 years. And realistically, like dating then to what dating is now, I'm like,
it's hard, right?
You just don't know, because I feel like most of the time it's not really dating. Like
it's like you're stuck in a perpetual talking stage where you don't know what they want, and then you don't know if you should tell them what you want, because then it messes everything up. It's just, I think things with dating is so complicated that I almost don't even, I want to take myself out of the equation half the time. But I know dating takes patience, and that's one thing I don't have. So
okay, so I have a question, because I think that, so I was put in a situation.
Where'd Jayla go? Is this my show?
Hello. Well, I am so sorry, guys. Apparently the question was getting too hot to handle.
I was like, where'd she go? Is this my show now?
Yeah, apparently.
I was like, I don't have anything to talk about by myself.
You're ready to take over? No, but man, I even lost my train of thought. I was like, dang, that got serious like that. No, but like, all right. So for me, I've been through different situations where I typically, date older. And I've now, obviously, with everything that I've been through, I was like, I'm going to be a little bit more open. I'm going to stop being so shallow, or stop being so this or so that. Mm-hmm. And I've tried different things, but obviously, like we've just said recently, like the dating world is a different space right now. 100%.
Yeah.
So obviously you're younger than I am, in a different space, but I've been in a space before where I've gotten told, after taking multiple dates, I'm gonna try to keep it as generic as possible. Multiple dates, multiple hangouts, at some point, including my daughter into it,
mm-hmm.
and then like 4 or 5 months down the road, talking about, oh, you thought we were dating. So for me, it was very confusing, because I feel like maybe in the younger world, dating means like boyfriend and girlfriend.
But sorry, do you see this guy?
No,
down. She's not on the bed, but she didn't listen to me.
My child doesn't listen to me either, if that makes you feel any better.
Sorry about that. No, dating.
So like, what is your definition of dating nowadays? Because apparently I feel like I don't understand what that even means. Is there like a difference? Like, because for me, as an old school person, it's like you talk, you're kind of dating, and then you kind of become boyfriend and girlfriend. Dating is like, you go on a couple dates, you're seeing each other, but it's not really formal.
Yeah.
You're in that lane. Boyfriend and girlfriend is when you make it official. Like talking is when you're like, where is this all now? Because apparently I might be wrong.
I don't even know, because I honestly can't figure it out. I always say I've never had an actual functional adult relationship now that I'm in my mid-20s. Because everyone I've dated was before I was 17, then I was 20 years old. You know what I mean? But like when it comes to dating, I feel like I'm always like, there's always this perpetual talking stage that I'm stuck in all the time. And nobody ever talks about how hard it is to transition, or at least maybe it's just me that I can't transition.
No,
Sometimes
girl,
it's
it's
my
not
fault.
just you.
Well, yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there who deal with the same thing, but I feel like sometimes it's my fault because I do tend to run away from things when they get serious, out of just, you know, just fear that
I heard the
she's
purr.
like, what? She's on the bed, but she's not allowed
Yeah,
to.
I see her. She's like, I'm taking advantage.
Hey.
I'm busy.
Anyway, I'll just let her sit there. She's lucky I'm busy. But yeah, it's just one big perpetual talking stage for me. And I'm trying to figure out how to transition. I don't quite know how to do that, but when I get there, I will let you know.
I mean, realistically, like, I know for me, one of the things that, I don't know if it's good or bad, at this point, I'm going to consider it great for me because this is part of the boundaries that I want to set in my love life, which is just being upfront and honest.
Yeah, which
I'm
helps.
I'm not going to be okay with you ghosting me. I'm not okay with you making false promises or don't tell me
what it is.
Yeah, like just be honest. Like if you can't show up because you have like, hey, I want to go hang out with my boy, it's okay.
Right.
But don't lie to me about it. Like don't make me feel some type of way or tell me, you know, like I'm coming through or I'm not. So I think that that's very important. I think that one of the biggest things right now that a lot of people are failing on with such amazing, beautiful women like ourselves is just being straight up and honest, just being forward.
In a perfect world, that would absolutely be the thing. But unfortunately, that's just not how we live life. And I don't know. It's kind of a bummer because things could be so much more easier if people were just very honest and straight up about what they wanted to do. But at the same time, you can't really blame them because I feel like we've been in situations where we don't know exactly what we want either, but we just know that we want to be around them and talk to them, whoever, you know, you're talking to at the time. But I also don't think it's fair to keep somebody holding off like that. You know, if you have these doubts already or you're unsure, just let me know. We'll walk through it together. And it's also not fair to not let me decide what I want to do with that, because I'm not going to wait for somebody, and I'm not going to wait for you to be ready if it doesn't mean that you're going to, you know, communicate with me.
How long is there a certain set time or a certain set situation that lets you know that?
Do you hear my cat? Work? I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I could totally hear your cat, but it's the cutest thing in the world. It's okay. Like straight into the process.
Can I open the door for her so she can get out of here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on one second.
Thank you guys for tuning in. And remember, this is only part 1, episode 1, season 2 for the Love of Jayla. We got Maria here coming up. We got another special guest, and I'm really excited. Maria, you have been so amazing. Like I've been waiting to have this conversation with you. I think you are awesome since the moment I met you. And even like, you know, with everything, I think it's I can't wait to see what you have coming because I know it's only greatness. You have an awesome soul and personality. I know how hard you work for your things and how many risks you take. Because realistically, I remember you when we started working together and the barriers there were and, you know, the concerns there were about that. And you took it like a champ. And you know, I feel like I never got to say that to you in person because we never got to see each other because there was such a difference in our shifts. But I just want you to know that I think it's beautiful what you're doing and how many risks you're taking and barriers you're breaking. And I really only wish you the best. I want you to tell everybody right now listening where they can find you, where they can keep in touch with you, where they can follow everything you have coming, because I know there's only greatness coming.
Yeah, so my social media is my name right now that's displayed. It's my Instagram is _Maria_Elizondo, and that's also my TikTok page, and my Twitter is Maria L Elizondo. I also shit post on it too if you ever want to laugh. And yeah, that's where you can find me for the time being, and who knows where I'll be in like the next year.
All right, so wrapping it up, I'm gonna do my affirmation cards. Follow Maria for shit posts all the time, please, guys. Do. Maria, that's gonna be like your new tag, like shit posts all day.
I love shit posting.
What does that really entail? What does shit posting really mean?
It's like, it's almost like another form of saying trolling, but you're not trolling other people. You're kind of just trolling yourself. Saying like funny things that people might relate to, just saying outrageous stuff that people might like, you know, just that.
I love it. All right, so I'm gonna pick one card for you, Maria. Are you ready? These are only affirmations. They're only good things. And it says,
ready.
I nourish my own needs before serving others.
See?
Look at that.
We talked about that. We had a whole conversation about that.
And thank you so much for being on For the Love of Jayla, my first guest for season 2. I'm so excited. And thank you so much for everything. I wish you nothing but the best, sending you everything, positive vibes, success, abundancia, all of that, and so much more. Thank you for being on with me. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was nice seeing you.
It was nice seeing you too. Don't lose me. I'm gonna come find you in New York. We're gonna have to do some of these shit posts together. You're gonna have to teach me.
Let me know.
All right, guys. So we're going to have the second part of the episode coming up next. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of an intermission, potty break, re-up on the water. We got water right here, which I gotta like go get ice for my water bottle. By the way, shout out Jeffrey. I love you for my Jayla cup. This is what I've been drinking out of today. All my water. I got to go get more ice. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Maria was amazing, and I really appreciate you guys for being logged in today. This is For the Love of Jayla, Part 1, Season 2, Episode 1. We're about to start Part 2. I'll be right back. Mira que linda yo. Hi, guys. Welcome back for the Love of JAYLAH Season 2, Episode 1. We're starting Part 2 right now. Thank you guys all for being here. I know it's been quite a journey. It's definitely been quite a journey for me. Oh my God, we got Gigi Rivera, my co-hostess with the mostest. I miss you, baby. Congratulations on everything that you're doing. Thank you guys all for being here for the Love of JAYLAH. We're heading into Part 2. I'm really excited for everything that's going on. This season is going to be something totally different. Gigi, she just left me alone here. So actually, I'm on a new journey. It's not looking for love, it's looking for what the meaning of love is. I want to hear what everybody's versions of what amor, lo que es querer, amar, and be there with their people. So I'm really excited to be a part of this. And I think we are ready for our next guest, if I am not mistaken. Shout out to Craze Boogie in the building, BX Craze. And make sure you check out Bury Me in the Bronx because he has, I love it. He has so much knowledge. He is so intelligent, and you guys definitely have to check that out. Uptown Live. Thank you guys for always checking us out and being a part of everything that's going on. I love you, Craze Boogie. Do you got my guest? Are we? I see Demi here, but I have a no video and a shut. We're trying to get it. Okay, we're trying to get her in. So we need to turn the camera on. So we're gonna get this. We're working on a couple technical things, but once again, thank you guys for being here. It's for the Love of JAYLAH, Season 2, Episode 1, Part 2. We just had Maria, and she was amazing. Thank you guys all for being here. It's been quite a journey for me, and I'm so thankful for everybody that has been a part of this. Thank you guys so much. Edward, Craze Boogie, everybody has been checking in. Gigi, thank you, everybody. All the text messages, all the check-ins, everything is. I'm like really excited for everything that's going on. A little bit about what's. I'm going to catch you guys up. Coming up this season, we have a lot of really different, diverse guests. I'm really excited about it. I don't even know what to say because I've been like dumbfounded at how this process has been going. And obviously we started one way and now we have gone to a completely different level. And I'm really excited about that. It's been part of my healing process. It's been part of my growth. And I think that's really important to share with you guys. I've been going through a lot of transparency. So I'm just like really excited to share with you guys in this season and really get to a new level of what JAYLAH is. You guys have always known me as that Latina personality and radio girl and modeling and doing something. So I've taken season 2 to finally open up a little bit more. Everybody's told me to share who I really am, and I'm really excited to do that this season. I am a little bit more complex than most people could probably imagine. Social media has definitely played a part in what I decide to share and not share with my life. Obviously, everything has its following, and actions have consequences. I'm a huge fan of that. And I'm excited to bring you guys into the next chapter of what JAYLAH'S life is. Shout out to my homegirl, Kat Bundy, by the way, who sent me this Love Hard. This is from her brand. So I just want to show it off real quick. Kat Bundy Vaults. So make sure she's based out of New York. You can find her uptown. You can find her in Dykeman. They have her stuff is in 6 Henshaw, so you can find it up there. If you're in New York, you can come get some of her gear. It's amazing, comfortable, and she has amazing winter stuff too. I'm a little sad that I only get to wear it like maybe once in a blue moon since I'm in Florida now, but I really do appreciate you guys all being a part of this. I'm waiting for my amazing guest that I'm super excited to talk to. I've checked out a couple things, and I'm just waiting for her to get on the camera. We have her almost ready. We're going, this is what happens with the live shows. Shout out to Edward. Oh, thank you for always tuning in and being a part of this. I really appreciate that. And by the way, I just want you guys to let you guys know that building the process to this podcast is never easy, especially as a single mom, because I literally have to pre-prep my daughter. So she's in the sala, pre-prepped, getting her stuff ready and everything. So I really do appreciate everybody who does support this. It's something that means the world to me, especially in this next chapter of my life. So you guys are the real MVPs for all of this. I do this because you guys make me keep doing this, and I really appreciate it. There we go, Bella. ¿Cómo estás, Bella?
Hola, bien, ¿y tú cómo estás?
Todo bien. ¿Puedes voltear la cámara así?
Claro que sí, perdóname.
No, tranquila.
Voy.
Bueno, mi gente, esta entrevista va a estar en Spanglish. So, para los que no están listos, por favor, put the subtitles on in your YouTube. Porque estamos listas. Yo ya estoy súpermente lista para estar hablando contigo, mi amor. Yo quiero que tú misma te introduzcas, porque eres tan fenomenal que, bueno, solo tú sabes decirlo bien.
Oye, bueno, qué linda, muchísimas gracias por primero, thank you for inviting me here. I'm really excited porque desde que me dijeron dije, oh, sí, me encanta. So, siempre conversando con realmente por pasión, ¿no? Y todo que estabas hablando que en el primer chapter fue súper cool. O no sé si seguimos acá.
Sí, yo todavía te tengo, está un poquito lento. I think we got a little bit of a lag. So we're working on a little couple of technical difficulties. Thank you guys all for still sticking on. She is, we're still here. We're still logged on. So we're trying to figure that out right now. I can't wait for you guys to meet her. She is an amazing artist, visual artist at that, which is something that I absolutely love. Shout out to my girl, Lorraine, who is an amazing publicist and works with amazing people. And she's an amazing person. And I love working with her and everything that she has to bring to the table. And her artists are like innovative. That's the one thing I could definitely say about every single one of her artists. They're completely innovative, and it's an amazing. So shout out to her, Loren. Te quiero mucho. Yeah, no, the technical. Listen, you guys, everybody's on the internet right now. This is normal. My daughter, if she got to go through it to virtual school, I can understand. Esto es normal. All right. Well, we're still obviously figuring out the technical difficulties. It is okay. We are definitely on different coasts. I'm on the East Coast. She's on the West Coast. So we're working on it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Actually, we have a Q&A happening right now in my chat. So I'm going to put my screen down. Please let me know where you guys are listening from on the Están Todos Me Escuchas. Can you hear me? Can we see? Is this working now?
Escucho. ¿Y tú?
Te escucho, pero se escucha todavía un poquito medio. Bueno, esto es lo que pasa en un mundo con el internet. So, lo que voy a hacer ahorita es que si tienen preguntas o si tienen algo que preguntarme, me lo pueden hacer en el chat. Obviamente voy a estar contestando. Vamos a arreglar lo que es esto ahorita. Yo creo que ahí vamos. ¿Me escuchas?
¿Me escuchas?
Un poquito mejor.
No sé realmente. ¿Me escuchas ahora?
Ahora
¿Me
sí te
escuchas?
escucho mejor. Sí,
¿Me escuchas mejor?
sí.
Ok, cool. Ok, ahora sí, yo creo que ahí estamos.
Ahora lista.
¿Lista?
All right.
Para ti.
Sí. All right. So yo creo que hay un poquito de delay, pero no importa, porque yo ya me acostumbré. So, cuéntame un poquito, introdúzcate a todos los que están escuchándote ahorita mismo, porque yo no lo puedo decir en mi voz, porque no hay nada que ver con lo que eres, con esa energía de mujer que tienes.
Ay, bueno, muchísimas gracias en verdad por el cariño. Bueno, yo principalmente soy un humano, siempre lo digo, soy un humano muy creativo, I'm a human very, very creative. So, soy una apasionada por el arte, me encanta el arte en distintas expresiones. He tenido la oportunidad de expresarme a través de la música, a través de la fotografía, a través de la dirección creativa. So, ha sido un proceso bastante largo porque desde que soy pequeña he estado como que tratando de encontrar las vías de poder sacar como que todo lo que siento y todo lo que está adentro de mí. Entonces ha sido como que muy lindo poder tener la oportunidad de expresarme de estas distintas maneras y ahora una magia poder compartir mis poemas y poder conectar con la gente a través de la música y a través bueno, de la música, que es un idioma universal, ¿no? Independientemente de que hablemos en inglés o hablemos en español, like, el ritmo te hace moverte, es una cosa que todos podemos entender. Entonces, poderme conectar a través de ese lenguaje ha sido mágico para mí.
So, yo quiero obviamente, porque yo hice mi research, yo ya sé un poquito, I know who you are a little bit, pero yo quiero que la gente te conozca un poquito más. ¿De dónde eres? ¿Cómo se dice tu nombre como debe de ser? Porque yo me llamo JAYLAH, pero a mí me dicen Jayla, a mí me dicen de todos otros nombres que no sea JAYLAH.
I feel you, girl. I feel you. I feel you.
So I want you, because I'm so really like, I'm always the one that's like, how do you say your name? So, ¿cómo se dice tu nombre como debe de ser?
My
y
name
dime
is...
un poquito de los principios.
Okay. My name is Andreksa. Andreksa en español, Andreksa, pero he notado que es más fácil cuando la pronunciación es Andreksa. So, muchísima gente me dice Andreska. So, ha sido como que viene ese proceso de que mi nombre se escribe Andreksa. Entonces, por alguna razón, fonéticamente, la gente lee Andreksa y es más fácil poner primero el s adelante, right? Entonces dicen Andreska. So, es como una manera más like, fácil, pero es Andreksa. So, mi nombre viene, mi mamá lo inventó. De hecho, soy la única en Facebook, en Instagram, en todos los socials, soy la única, lo he encontrado.
Pero ese es tu nombre verdadero.
Sí, ese es mi nombre, me llamo Andreksa Andreina. Mi mamá me puso así, ese es mi nombre, sí.
Pero es que mucha gente se tiene que, especialmente en la industria, lo que es la música, lo que es, in the industry, it's known, everybody knows that uno se tiene que de vez en cuando cambiar el nombre. Los más famosos hasta los menos, todo el mundo se ha tenido que un poquito manipular lo que es el nombre y el reconocimiento. Y lo que yo le he dicho, por eso yo cuando mi hija nació, yo le dije no, porque yo me tuve que cambiar mi nombre. So, yo no quise eso para ella, sea lo que ella quisiera hacer. So, ella es Bella Liani. Un nombre como el tuyo no es común.
Sí, o sea, ha sido desde que estoy en high school, like, he estado con esa situación ahí con mi nombre, siempre diciéndole a la gente cómo se escribe, cómo todo, pero es un journey bonito porque es lindo saber que mi mamá puso tanto amor y tanto esfuerzo como que en crear un nombre único para mí, todo lo que significaba para ella en ese momento, ¿no? Tener como que un bebé, tú que eres madre lo sabes, entonces como que ese momento tan lindo de tú crear algo único para tu pieza más única, o sea, es como para todo lo más perfecto que para ti eso. Es muy gratificante para mí igual aclarar mi nombre y me parece lindo que sea tan único que la gente pues se le haga difícil pronunciarlo.
¿Por qué ese nombre?
Mira, porque mi mamá, no sé, mi mamá lo inventó jugando con nombres, pero también viene una influencia de que a mi mamá le encanta el teatro ruso. Entonces, bueno, como que tiene ese, ¿no?
La K.
La K. Entonces mi mamá se llama Andreina, mi papá se llama Andrés, y ella como que buscando un medio de que pudiéramos, ¿no? Como que ella crear eso mágico, pues jugando con las letras salió Andreksa. So, como que ese es básicamente como que la historia a través de mi nombre. Yo soy venezolana, I'm from Venezuela, born and raised in Venezuela. I came here when I was 15 years old. So, han sido unos años lindos para mí y también obviamente intensos porque todos los que somos inmigrantes pues entendemos lo difícil que es alejarte de tu familia, alejarte de tus amigos, tener que hacer vida en un lugar en donde, bueno, tú no perteneces, ¿no? Como que ha sido muy lindo el recibimiento que he tenido, pero también he pasado por muchas cosas en donde obviamente no ser del lugar en donde uno vive y en donde uno se está desarrollando trae muchísimas cosas y ha sido bien difícil para mí todo como que el journey de poder vivir de lo que me gusta, de poder desarrollar mi arte siendo latina de primera generación, viviendo pues en un país que no es el mío y que tuve que irme de mi país porque las posibilidades de vida son muy difíciles. Entonces, ha sido bien lindo igual tener la oportunidad de que la gente y de que tanta gente ha conectado conmigo y con mis letras y con mis raíces y de donde yo soy, porque todo viene desde mi corazón y ha sido un journey que he ido sembrando poco a poco, como una plantita que tenía la semillita y que estoy regando todos los días y que bueno, tenga la oportunidad de hablar contigo y con tanta gente que esté interesada en conversar y en conocerme, para mí es mágico, ¿no?
No, es que yo creo que para todos nosotros es mágico, porque digamos, tú eres, yo soy de Centroamérica, tú eres de Suramérica, aunque no seamos totalmente, la vida no ha sido lo mismo y tal vez no hemos estado en las mismas posiciones, we still been in a space donde podemos entendernos porque sabemos esa lucha de querer crecer, de querer hacer más, de querer, todos los esfuerzos de nuestros padres, hacer, ¿qué más podemos hacer nosotros en un elemento que honestamente no es normal en muchas de las vidas de nosotros?
No, y es un proceso que uno tiene que llevar con mucho orgullo. Yo llevo con mucho orgullo mis raíces latinas y trato de representar de dónde vengo y de dónde crecí. Siempre he tenido la dicha de sentirme y de que los lugares en donde he vivido me han recibido con mucho amor. Entonces, a pesar de que me siento 100% venezolana, tengo otras muchas inclinaciones porque me fui tan pequeña de Venezuela que he tenido que desarrollarme en otros lugares en donde me han dado, donde también me siento parte. O sea, viví en Argentina, fui a la escuela por fotografía y cinematografía en Argentina, entonces ir a la escuela allá, vivir allá, compartir allá parte de mi adolescencia, fue mágico porque agarrar otras culturas que se vuelven parte de tu rutina y de tu día a día. Entonces, como que a pesar de que eres de un lugar, tienes como que todas esas otras cosas. Viví en Canadá, Canadá también es una parte de mi vida, porque en Canadá, por ejemplo, empecé, for real, a poner mis poemas en rap y a poner, ¿no? Como que ahí comencé a hacerlo, con un amigo, él y yo lo hacíamos y como que, no, así, entonces cada lugar tiene como que, me hizo estar como que en un step diferente, ¿no? Y como que, cada espacio en donde he estado me ha hecho crecer y me ha hecho ser la persona que soy hoy. Entonces, a pesar de que me fui de mi país, tengo muchas otras cosas lindas que he podido tener de los otros lugares en donde he estado.
Digamos, yo nací en Nueva York, me crié en la Florida, mis padres son centroamericanos, obviamente no, donde yo me crié no hay muchos centroamericanos, yo no he conocido muchas, costarricenses, tal vez si 10 es mucho.
Qué duro, mira, de Costa Rica.
En mi vida completa, si no son, digamos, en Costa Rica, obviamente yo tengo otra vida allá, pero digamos, en los Estados Unidos, si son 10 ticos, es mucho. Salvadoreños, un poquito más, pero a la misma vez no es algo como lo que se ve los venezolanos, los colombianos, los cubanos, los dominicanos, los puertorriqueños. Ya es otra vida, pero a la misma vez en cada fase es algo diferente.
Right, 100%. 100%. Cada lugar es algo distinto y tú hablas ahorita, y por ejemplo, yo he tenido la fortuna de que tú eres de allá, ¿verdad? Y yo no comparto casi aquí con venezolanos. Mira, por ejemplo, uno de mis mejores, de mis amigos más cercanos que trabaja conmigo en mis videos musicales, Sebas Coto, es mi partner creativo en estos últimos 4 videos que saqué del lado B. Él es de Costa Rica. Mi label manager, Brian, acá en Dima que en Fuego, es de El Salvador. Entonces, como que, ¿ves? Tengo eso.
Es tan raro porque, digamos, yo que estoy aquí en la Florida, en lo que yo viví en Nueva York, nunca. Eso, y eso es lo que me gusta de tener estas conversaciones con gente, porque estos son esos puentes, those bridges, those connections that we need as people, because it's just as simple as wanting to do this together, as wanting to say, yo, I want you to grow. I don't care, because that's something I wanted to ask you is, en realmente, yo que soy alguien que nunca he tenido mucha de mi gente alrededor, mucha gente, yo me acuerdo de un punto en mi carrera, they were like, oh, you're fake because you want to act Dominican or you want to act Puerto Rican. It's not that I want to act that way. Es que al final del día, esas son la única gente que me hacen sentir como que yo estoy con mi gente. Porque la gente tica es como los puertorriqueños y como los dominicanos. Le gustan la comida, la fiesta, la bebida y estamos en coro. It's a whole nother vibe. So I always resonated with that because there's not a lot of my own people here unless I go home.
Right.
So how has that been for you in your perspective, especially in music? Because now you're trying to bring your music to all the cultures, which is what I feel as Latinos, lo que tenemos que hacer. La música tiene que ser universal para todos.
Yo creo que es una misión importante para mí entender de que no existen las fronteras, de que todos somos humanos y de que todos venimos al final de un mismo lugar y de una misma base, ¿no? Entonces, partiendo de ahí, entendiendo de que nos hemos dividido, nosotros mismos nos hemos dividido, es muy importante para mí que con la música nosotros podamos tener ese idioma universal en donde conectemos a través de ritmos, ¿no? Independientemente de dónde somos o de qué parte de Latinoamérica, por ejemplo, somos. Al final todos somos latinos y al final todos tenemos esa fuerza que nos mueve. Y hablando más allá, entre los latinos y los americanos y los españoles, al final todos somos humanos, al final hay algo importante, hay algo que nos mueve, hay algo que nos hace ser especiales, hay algo que nos hace ser que nos conecta en algún momento, que al final todo se vuelve uno solo, ¿no? Independientemente de que tengamos distintas...
Es como dicen que en unión hay poder.
100%, 100%, 100%, y la unión tiene que ser for real, ¿sí me entiendes? O sea, cuando nos apoyemos tenemos que apoyarnos desde el corazón, tenemos que apoyarnos porque hay cosas que nos mueven y conectamos. Obviamente nosotros como artistas también somos seres humanos y de repente con las cosas que tú conectas no son las mismas que conecto yo, pero ahí está la variedad y ahí está el entendernos, el tener esa conciencia de aceptar a lo que somos diferentes y dejar a un lado a ese pensamiento que nos han inculcado de cierta manera de si no estás conmigo, estás en mi contra, ¿no? Yo creo que tiene que ser mucho más amplio, creo que tenemos que entendernos desde un lado, desde el amor, ¿no? Porque creo que el amor al final es lo que mueve todo, el amor por la vida, el amor por lo que quieres hacer, el amor por tus sueños, el amor por tu familia, el amor en general es lo que nos mueve. Y si ese...
I agree with you 100% because I think that love is that one connection, and everything that you were saying, love is always that meaning factor, whether it's love for music, love for passion, love for your career, love for yourself, love for a future for your kids. There's love. And I think that that's so important. And you're right. Hay mucho que pasa in between us como Latinos that que esta gente, we don't like them, they don't like us, ella no quiere estar con este, and I don't, for me, I've never felt that way, because for me, my whole family, mi familia entera es internacional. En mi familia tica, todos somos mitad, salvadoreños y ticos, ecuatorianos y ticos, mexicanos y ticos, colombianos y ticos, so, yo me crié en una familia que tiene tanta experiencia en lo que es lo tradicional, lo cultural, y después también yo me puse en esa posición que I wanted to be in New York City. I wanted to be in Washington Heights. I wanted to be with los dominicanos. Yo quería estar con los puertorriqueños. Yo quería estar en eso porque yo quería aprender culturalmente para poder unir más de lo que estábamos unidos. Y yo siento que con lo poquito que yo he escuchado de tu EP with cassette, side B, like Tom and Jerry, tus canciones, that's fire. It's fire. Cuéntame un poquito más de tu música, please.
Thank you. Bueno, obviamente de todo lo que venimos hablando, no, yo creo que mi álbum en general ha sido un álbum en donde he tenido la oportunidad de experimentar distintos ritmos, de experimentar distintos géneros, de no ponerme ninguna barrera en, ok, voy a hacer esto, o me voy a hacer nada más este género, o voy a ser un artista así. Yo creo que ha sido bien lindo poder dejar volar mi imaginación y realmente como que no tener ninguna barrera ni ningún miedo al crear cosas. Ha sido un proceso en donde he pasado por las primeras veces, muchas veces. Se fue, me quedé aquí en este live by myself, chicos. Vamos a ver qué es lo que. ¿Qué es lo que? Ok, takes over. Cuéntenme de ustedes. A ver, ¿qué más? Bueno, yo estaba contando de mi música. Entonces, la música, sí, ha sido eso. He podido experimentar distintas cosas, distintos géneros. Con Tommy Jerry, por ejemplo, hice fue muy cool porque Tommy Jerry lo hice con Yuta, que es un productor japonés, y logramos como mix el trap con ritmos japoneses, con sonidos japoneses, con sonidos únicos que hacen referencia a la cultura de él. Entonces fue muy lindo poder mezclar nuestras culturas y hacer esta canción de Tommy Jerry. Si no la han escuchado, vayan a Spotify, escúchenla, vacílenla, porque está dope, 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 dope. Ok, vamos a ver. Entonces, ella no vuelve. No vuelve, no vuelve, no vuelve. ¿Será que hacemos un baile? Should we dance? I don't know. I don't know qué hacer. Ok. La única Andreksa baila. Okay, so let me ask, okay? Guys, love you. Pero se salió, no sé.
No me salí.
¡Volvió!
Es que obviamente la conversación, the conversation was too hot, entonces se quemó la computadora.
Ok, yo me quedé en takeover. Literal les dije, ¿será que bailamos? ¿Será que nos ponemos aquí a hacer un baile?
Please, oh my God, si quieres hacer un baile, por favor, hazme el favor a mí. A mí no me lo tienes que decir 2 veces.
No, les conté la historia de Tommy Jerry.
I love it.
Sí, les conté la historia de Tommy Jerry. Y como veníamos hablando pues de la música, ya la historia de Tommy Jerry la escucharás después live. Ajá,
no,
después que...
ahora me tienes que hacer un FaceTime. Me debes un FaceTime, ¿no?
Ok, y luego en la música sí, pues ha sido así. Tommy Jerry, como les dije ya a toda la gente que nos está viendo aquí, fue una mezcla de sonidos en japoneses con trap. Entonces lo hice con un productor japonés que se llama Yuta, un gran amigo. Entonces poder mezclar nuestras culturas fue muy lindo, aparte de que
Bro, but honestly, like the Japanese, like the Korean, Japanese, Asian wave, you're almost like ahead of your time. Estás más adelantada de muchos de los artistas de lo que están haciendo ahorita.
Qué cool, porque sabes, o sea, ni siquiera es una cosa de que uno trata como que, déjame, no es que yo me pongo todas las noches como que, let me see what they do to do better, you know, like, no, it's not like that, it's like, I don't know, vamos al estudio y fluye eso, you know, desde, como vengo diciendo, aunque suene cheesy, a little bit, pero it's from love, you know, like viene, like all comes from love.
But that's why I have you on For the Love of JAYLAH, porque yo sé que es amor, and I, more than anybody, I pride my career, everything that I do, I have been titled extremely passionate. I've been labeled a lot of things because when I love something that I do, I go hard. Y como una mujer, eso difícil. It's hard going as a girl with so much passion and love. So like, a ti, like for you, como una mujer en esta industria, like how has that gone for you? Like how have you had to manage through this and find the right people to believe in you? Because that's probably one of the hardest things.
Sí, mira, yo en verdad, si te digo la verdad, tengo mucha fortuna de haber conectado con mi familia de Dimac en Fuego porque ha sido like un journey muy lindo con ellos. Pero hablando generalmente de ser una mujer latina en la industria, obviamente es difícil porque aún estamos atados a esa suposición de lo que queremos que la mujer sea. Entonces tenemos una idea de eso, ¿verdad? En donde todavía no hemos pasado al 100% y tenemos unas dobles morales en el momento de hablar y de expresarnos a través de las cosas que debemos hacer en la vida de una manera equivocada, porque permitimos y aceptamos cosas de hombres y cuando las mujeres lo hacen, pues nos choca la vista. Entonces ha sido una lucha muy, algo que he venido obviamente analizando y trabajando desde muy niña, porque mi mamá es actriz. Entonces crecí en un ambiente artístico viendo cómo de repente las mujeres tienen ciertos estereotipos que deben cumplir, y siempre me ha gustado romper esos estereotipos, porque creo que al final, como te dije al principio, todos somos humanos. Y
sin preguntar mucho, ¿tu mamá fue alguien, digamos, que alguien puede reconocer en otro nivel, que alguien te pueda parar en tu carrera?
Mi mamá es es una actriz muy reconocida en Venezuela. Es una mujer que trabajó muchísimo por casi 20 años haciendo telenovelas en Venezuela, con una carrera muy linda, en verdad. Mi mamá siempre me dice que la vida es imaginaria, y esa es la manera en la que ella ha vivido su vida y es la manera en la que me ha demostrado a mí cómo vivirla. Nosotros, como te dije, venimos de Venezuela, de un lugar humilde, en donde todo lo que hemos tenido ha sido porque nos los hemos trabajado, porque hemos luchado por nuestros sueños, y eso lo he visto desde de ver a mi mamá hacerlo, de ver a mi abuela hacerlo, de ver a mi tía hacerlo. Vengo de una familia bien matriarcal.
So I want to ask you, porque obviamente, like, you know, for me, I'm a first generation in this industry.
Right.
So, like, yo soy primera generación en esta industria. Obviamente, mi hija no tiene nadie. Yo no tengo a nadie. Ninguna de mi familia viene de esto. Tengo una prima que hace maquillaje, pero estamos al final del día en diferentes industrias. So, like, ¿cómo es eso? Porque obviamente uno como mujer, como hija, como luchadora quiere ser uno sola, pero a la misma vez, like, como mamá, yo estoy luchando para abrir todas las puertas que yo pueda por mi hija.
Sí.
So it's like, ¿cómo es ese entremedio? Porque
mira, mi mamá, mi mamá hace telenovelas y yo hago música, entonces como que siempre nos hemos apoyado. Mi mamá ha abierto todas las puertas mi mamá más que todo me ha dado el poder y la accesibilidad a la educación. He tenido la oportunidad de estudiar, de decidir lo que quiero ser. No ha sido algo como que yo un día dije, ay, de repente quiero tomar fotos. No, o sea, yo fui a la escuela, tengo un posgrado, yo me preparé para cada una de las cosas que estoy haciendo. Cuando empecé a hacer la música, pues ella me apoyó al 100%, porque obviamente yo no vengo de una familia musical, no fue como que desde que yo era pequeña agarraba la guitarra, el piano, mi papá se sentó conmigo y me enseñó, no vengo de esa familia, todo lo mío se desarrolló solo, ¿no? Y obviamente tengo esos genes, ese amor y esa pasión por el arte, porque obviamente crecí en eso, ¿no? Pero obviamente tenemos caminos distintos, y me siento muy feliz y muy orgullosa, ¿no? De mi mamá y de todo lo que ella ha logrado y ha conseguido y ha hecho por su propio talento y por sus propias cosas. Entonces, y aparte siendo madre soltera, mi papá se murió cuando yo tenía 11 meses. Entonces,
I'm so sorry.
Como
yo soy
que mi mamá
soltera y yo sé lo que es ser madre soltera y no es fácil.
A mi mamá le tocó, mira, mi mamá me tuvo a los 16 años.
Wow.
Y ella le tocó conmigo, very young. Y, now I'm here talking to you. So, es un journey que se lo tengo que, como digo, como le tengo que poner las flores en el camino cada vez que ella camine, porque ha sido un trabajo muy lindo, y me siento muy orgullosa de la persona que yo soy hoy, gracias a todas las oportunidades que me dio ella y mi abuela, ¿no? Obviamente. Entonces, como que me siento muy así. Entonces, por eso, desde esa afinidad y desde esa pasión por las mujeres latinas y por empoderar a las mujeres y por dejar un poco al lado ese casillo o ese cuadro de que las mujeres empoderadas tienen que ser de ciertas maneras, tienen que vestirse de ciertas maneras, tienen que ser ciertas cosas. El empoderamiento viene de aquí. la feminidad tenemos que valorarla, aceptarla, no tenemos que agarrar y ponernos incómodos cuando una mujer hace twerk o cuando una mujer sale en traje de baño en X y ni si sale desnuda o no, es su cuerpo, esa es su vida, tiene que hacer lo que quiera, como que, ¿por qué siempre limitarnos a que, esta mujer sí es empoderada y entra en este cuadro y esta no porque esta se viste así?
Es como yo le digo a todo mundo, Diosito hizo ice cream shop. A alguna gente le gusta dulce de leche, a los otros le gusta vainilla, a los otros le gusta mint chocolate chip. A mí no me importa lo que te guste, pero aquí hay todos los sabores para todo el mundo y no hay que juzgarlos.
No.
Y eso es lo que es. It's you can't judge anybody for what they're going through because you don't know what they're going through.
Y cada uno vivimos, cada uno peleamos con distintos demons, cada uno peleamos con distintos demonios, cada uno estamos pasando nuestros propios procesos, cada uno tenemos nuestras cosas y es muy vulnerable compartir el arte. Entonces, la gente que está del otro lado viendo esto, si conectaste, disfrútalo, báilalo, gózatelo, dedícalo, compártelo. Si no lo conectaste y si no te enganchaste con eso, skip, pasa a la siguiente canción, consigue el siguiente artista, no te pares, no pares tu vida deseando un comentario negativo por alguien que está tratando de alcanzar sus sueños. Si no fue contigo, si no conectó contigo en ese momento, no conectó y ya, yo creo que eso es bien importante, como que esa aceptación a las cosas y en general como que en el público y también en los artistas. Yo creo que los artistas tenemos que tener más apoyo todos unos con otros. Debemos apoyar individualmente lo que hacemos. Tiene que ser una lucha como en grupo, ¿no? Y los latinos nos tenemos que unir para que realmente ese crossover de los que todos hablamos, de lo que 100%. Todos queremos hacer, pase realmente. Porque ahorita
y no tiene que ser por país. Tiene que ser por ser latinos.
Tiene que ser porque todos somos latinos, porque estamos representando algo y no porque, los puertorriqueños la están dando más. El colombiano tal. No,
los dominicanos.
Al final, no. Todos venimos del mismo lugar. Todos estamos poniendo en alto nuestro idioma, nuestra cultura, nuestros derechos y nuestras raíces. Entonces, todo eso tiene que unirse. Por eso mi canción de Sangre Poderosa, el video, por ejemplo, es un homenaje al Triangle de Shirtwest, tú que eres de Nueva York. El Triangle de Shirtwest, para la gente que no sabe, es un suceso que pasó en 1930 y algo, y ahí en ese suceso se murieron muchísimas mujeres inmigrantes, muchísimas mujeres que no tenían un lugar en este país y se murieron quemadas, y desde ahí crece el Día Internacional de la Mujer, desde ahí nacen los movimientos feministas que conocemos hoy en día, y entonces no es una lucha que venimos haciendo desde hace 20 años aquí, es una lucha que viene desde hace muchos años atrás, y que nosotros ahorita como nueva generación, teniendo la oportunidad de que tenemos más rápido la información porque contamos con tecnología, con internet, etcétera, cosas que antes nuestros ancestros y nuestros familiares, nuestras mamás, nuestros abuelos no tenían. Ahora nosotros tenemos la oportunidad y nosotros no aprovechamos las oportunidades y las herramientas que tenemos de la manera de la que la debemos usar. Entonces, en base a eso, quise darle a la gente como que algo que puedan bailar, algo que puedan moverse, gozar en la discoteca con los panas, lo que sea, pero también tiene un mensaje, y si indagas un poco más, vas a conocer y vas a decir, ok, en 1911 pasó y pasó este suceso y no conocía, y de aquí viene este movimiento, como que hay algo un poco más deep ahí, y creo que nosotros como artistas siempre debemos dejar un mensaje para la nueva generación y para la gente que nosotros estamos abriendo las puertas, porque no es nada más empoderar a la mujer desde el lugar de decir, Si el hombre hace esto, entonces nosotras también lo hacemos. Si el hombre dice tales groserías, la mujer también entonces tiene que decir tales groserías. Viene desde la educación realmente, de qué queremos para esa gente, para esos niños que están creciendo, para esa gente que está creciendo con nosotros y que nos vea a nosotros como un wow, ¿no? ¿Qué es el mensaje que nosotros le vamos a dar? Obviamente al 100% que sean ellos y que tengan esa voz, que hagan realmente lo que quieran, pero desde un lado consciente, desde un lado de que si es eso lo que van a hacer es porque realmente los mueve y no porque están haciendo algo para llevarle la contraria a alguien, yo creo que desde ahí tiene que...
No, y yo creo que también, obviamente, con todo eso que has dicho, personalmente te quiero preguntar, no sé si es muy personal, pero ¿a dónde estás tú en tu vida? Y obviamente, for the love of Jayla, yo quiero aprender lo que es, obviamente, yo ya lo siento en la manera que tú hablas, que tu carrera es una de esas amores, pasiones que tú tienes en tu corazón. Like, that's one of your passions. Your career is one of your passions. You're just like me. And that's really hard for a lot of people to understand. Like, mucha gente no entiende lo que es tener tanta pasión por lo que tú amas en tu carrera. So, like, what advice que tienes para decirnos a nosotros o las mujeres que tenemos que vivir esto? Like, what's your advice on love, on loving what you do? And honestamente, like, siguiendo tu carrera con tanto amor.
Mira, yo creo que lo más importante para mí es nunca mates tu curiosidad y nunca te compares con nadie.
Okay,
yo creo
don't compare
que
yourself to, don't compare yourself to nobody.
with nobody.
Okay.
With nobody. Like, you are unique, you are amazing, like, you have ese brillo que solamente tienes tú. Tú tienes un brillo que yo te veo acá y tú tienes un brillo increíble. Tú estás ahí en pasión porque estás aquí conversando conmigo y porque estás haciendo tu podcast y porque like, esto es lo que tú quieres hacer. Preparaste a tu bebé, estás ahí sentada, like, tú eres una mujer empoderada, guerrera y por tu sueño. So, es eso lo que tenemos que hacer. No importa lo que tú hagas, es hacerlo. No importa si hoy nos complicamos con la conexión y se cayó y es parte del proceso. So, disfrutar el proceso, porque el proceso es lo único que nos queda a nosotros como artistas. Eso es lo único que nos queda.
Enjoy your journey. Enjoy your journey. That is so important.
El resultado es para los demás. El resultado lo ven la gente de afuera. El proceso lo vivimos nosotros. ¿Cómo nosotros disfrutamos ese proceso? Porque eso es lo que va a quedar aquí. Y al final del día, cuando todo pase y cuando la cara se nos ponga arrugadita, porque todos vamos para ese mismo lugar, aquí ¿qué hay? ¿Cómo está ese recuerdo que tú dices? Yo me acuerdo cuando yo estaba haciendo mi podcast y mi bebé tenía tantos años y yo la preparaba y lo mismo conmigo, like, yo me acuerdo cuando vine de Venezuela, cuando conocí a Steve y me firmó y me cambió la vida, como que esos procesos son lindos. Obviamente no todo es fácil, porque si fuese fácil todo el mundo lo hiciera, pero es tener la constancia de hacerlo. Y si tú crees que eso es lo tuyo, hazlo. Porque eso es lo más importante.
Yo creo que eso es muy importante también, es disfrutar el momento, like, enjoy the journey, porque mucha gente, like, tiene tanta visión así, like, yo quiero llegar al final, pero no disfrutan todo lo que tiene que ser ese, like, that whole journey. They don't experience that, and then you look back and you're like, man, that was a really good time.
Yeah, and then...
Damn, yo pasé un buen tiempo y no lo disfruté porque yo estaba tratando de llegar ahí.
Y luego cuando llegas ahí, like, you're there and you was like, oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Is this?
Oh, y yo pude disfrutar eso,
yeah.
que eso fue más grande de lo que pasó ahorita. It's bigger than what happened right now.
Yeah.
Really? 100%. I think that's a beautiful message. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Like, yo no puedo creer, gracias a Dios. Loren, I love you. Thank you so much for bringing me another one of your amazing artists. Thank you so much. Oye, si tú te pierdes Señorita, yo voy para Los Ángeles.
Mira, ven a visitarme. Ven a visitarme para acá.
Te busco en Los Ángeles, ¿ok?
No, mira, muchísimas gracias thank you for having me here. And this is really special for me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk with your people. It's a really amazing experience for me. Like always, like talk with different like humans like you, like amazing humans that like creative person. Me llena mi corazón,
Yo
you know,
like. No, yo igual, de verdad, muchas gracias, porque aunque yo tenga tantos años en esta industria, yo todavía me creo, como tú dijiste temprano, para mí, yo soy una cualquiera. Yo todavía estoy buscando mi carrera, mi manera, lo que tengo que hacer para ser feliz, pero yo amo estar en esta posición con alguien como tú, que de verdad me agradece mucho, and thank you so much for being on my show. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, and
I really like you and Loren and your team. I appreciate you guys so much for trusting me to even have you on my show. I am just trying to build something different for my daughter and for the other girls that dream like me.
That's amazing and that's beautiful, and your energy is amazing. So I hope que hagas 1,000,000 de shows más. I hope que entrevistes a toda la gente que tienes ahí en sueño para entrevistar.
No, listen, now you're stuck with me. So every time you have a new promo, a new premiere, a new video, a new song, I don't care what it is, a las órdenes.
Okay, bueno, y para toda la gente que nos vio, disfruten mi cassette lado B. Tiene 4 canciones super cool que las hice con muchísimo amor.
Yo,
so, disfrútenlo.
Like all the songs, like
París,
fire. Yo,
Tommy Jerry, Sangre Poderosa, Pedro Paz.
Sangre Poderosa is amazing.
So, sigan ahí pendientes. El mes que viene volvemos con un nuevo release. So, estamos sacando música, estamos compartiendo, estoy compartiendo mi amor y mi vulnerabilidad con ustedes. Así que, bueno, muchísimas gracias por esta oportunidad.
Muchas gracias, mi amor. Tell everybody dónde te pueden seguir, dónde pueden encontrar toda tu música, everything. Let them know.
Bueno, ahí está. Me pueden encontrar por todos lados como Andreksa. Andreksa, lo que dijimos al principio, por todos lados estoy, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, todas las plataformas musicales, el mismo nombre, así que bueno, enjoy the music.
Muchas gracias, everybody. This has been the wrap for The Love of JAYLAH. Season 2 has officially kicked off. Muchas gracias for my first 2 guests. We did a 2-part episode. I know fue mucho hoy, but JAYLAH is mucho. This is what I do. So thank you guys so much for being on. Thank you so much to my main man, BX Craze, BX Boogie. Bury Me in the Bronx. Make sure you check that out. Uptown Live. Muchas gracias for everybody being on. Los adoro. Thank you. Tune in next week.